Philip Bloom said it was the best monitor I've ever used. I'm obviously talking about Accsoon's M7 Pro, and I'm glad I'm reviewing it now when the TX and all the other features are finally in place. This 7-inch multitasker, if I may, can record internally, it can transmit to up to 4 different receivers, including smartphones and tablets. It has camera control and touch focus on cameras from Canon, Nikon and Sony, which I think is pretty darn rad. More brands and camera models are currently being added, but since this thing is running Android, you can actually install and run camera apps on the M7 Pro itself. I've had mixed results with Fujifilm's finicky smartphone apps, but much better results with Sony's monitor and control app. The wireless transmission, or TX as the pros call it, isn't the newest, but it's definitely one of the more noteworthy additions. Set your work mode to TX or RX and it's going to be ready to transmit or receive if you want to use this as a director's monitor. Latency-wise, the TX is actually pretty impressive with under 60 milliseconds of latency when using the H.265 protocol, which is less than a frame and a half. And for context, this here is 1 frame or 42 milliseconds, and this here is 2 frames, so not a whole lot. So the TX RX features on the M7 Pro isn't just a gimmick, it's actually pretty usable on both Android and iOS devices, along with Accsoon's new generation of 4K transmission systems. But like I said, the TX isn't the only thing that's new. Accsoon actually rebuilt the entire image pipeline for better colors and a more precise focus peaking with edge enhancement. We're also getting ARRI-style false colors, including support for newer ARRI cameras, and we're getting vertical UI rotation and even vertical anamorphic D-squeeze for all of you vertiscopers out there. So it's definitely better and it's definitely more capable than it was before. But the M7 Pro isn't just about wireless, we're also getting SDI in and out, HDMI 2.0 and bidirectional cross conversion between HDMI and SDI. And it's also the first monitor that I have ever come across with 3 individual USB-C ports. So check this out. This one here, power delivery in, if you want to power the monitor over USB-C power delivery. We got another one right here labeled 5 volts out to power or trickle charge accessories on your rig. Third one sits over here, and this one can be used to attach either an external SSD or connect your camera if you want to utilize that camera control and touch focus. Now, personally, I wouldn't waste this port on an external SSD. It feels kind of overkill unless you're doing like a year-long time-lapse project or something. The internal recordings on the M7 Pro caps out at about 50 megabits per second. So just a regular SD card like this one will get you pretty far. I often get asked about monitors that can output LUTs over the HDMI out, and the M7 Pro could do that. It can also output anamorphic de-squeezed footage, so if you want to live stream with an anamorphic lens, make it super duper cinematic, then the M7 Pro is going to set that up for you. This is also super duper convenient if you're using this out on set and you have customers, clients, directors running around with a wireless feed on their smart devices. Now, you don't have to show them how to set up LUTs and de-squeeze footage on the Accsoon C app. So yeah, pretty nice. Now, speaking of camera control, I'm using the Sony a7S III, and as soon as I connect the camera and the monitor with a USB-C cable, the monitor automatically detects that it's an a7S III and gives me control over the camera settings like white balance, shutter speed, start-stop recording, aperture, so on and so forth. It just works. Even the autofocus tracking works when you're doing touch focus here on the M7 Pro, which is kind of rad. The only thing I wish that Accsoon could figure out is a way to relay the camera control and the touch focus operation wirelessly or remotely to your smartphone device if you're running the Accsoon C app. That would be kind of sweet if you're someone like me who often find yourself standing in front of the camera and you want to check your framing, start-stop recording and all that fun stuff. Okay, I think it's time for the first little gotcha. You can record up to 4K 60 frames per second internally to the built-in storage, an SD card, or that pesky external SSD that we're not going to use. And you can do so in both H.264 and H.265. But it's going to be limited to 50 megabits per second and it's only going to be 8-bit footage. Personally, I find it to be pretty useful, especially as a YouTuber that do a lot of these screen recordings when I do autofocus tests, menu walkthroughs, and I guess if you're like a DP and you want to sneak some dailies home, just popping a little SD card in here and record, grab that when you leave is going to be better than nothing. But here's a super cool feature that kind of ties into this internal recording stuff. So on the monitor itself, there's a 3.5mm external mic input. If you use the M7 Pro as a TX unit on set, that external microphone actually becomes a talkback feature. So you can give instructions, tell them to run faster, work harder, or just have a nice lunch or weekend, that sort of stuff. So that's a pretty cool feature. But let's take a break from the new bells and whistles and talk about how the M7 Pro actually behaves as a daily driver. The screen is still gonna be factory calibrated to perfection before it sends out, and it's a super nice panel. My only complaint is that it's a 1000 nit panel, which isn't bad, but if you're spending a lot of time outdoors, you might want to pick up the cage and hood combo for the M7 Pro. But as a daily driver, I guess my biggest fear was that a monitor with this many features would have an overwhelming and overly complex menu system to the point where I might actually just avoid going in and utilizing some of the onboard features. But Accsoon did a pretty good job, in my opinion, of kind of compartmentalizing different sections. So for everyday use as a daily driver, I think it actually works pretty well. And I do like having customizable function buttons up here. We have 3 of them. I have mine set to, let's see, waveforms, focus peaking, and anamorphic D-squeeze. But you can basically set these to any feature on board, and that would also help you to stay away from navigating the menus too much. But among rainbows and unicorns, there's a couple of stink piles that we want to watch out for. I'm not going to bring up the fan because today every monitor pretty much have a built-in fan, and these ones are actually pretty quiet, but it's still a fan. Now, the one thing that I do want to bring up is the power consumption. When you're using the M7 Pro as just a regular on-camera monitor, it does pretty well with an average draw of about 12 watts, but that can easily double when you start using it as a TX or an RX unit. So if you're doing that, definitely use both of these MPF slots here at the back or hook it up to a bigger battery like a V-mount for longer shoot days. I've also noticed just a tiny little parasitic draw on occasion, so keep that in mind if you leave batteries attached overnight. But that's pretty much it apart from things that we already mentioned. So, is it the best monitor that I've ever used? Well, it's definitely up there, and it's hands down one of the most, if not the most versatile and capable monitors that I've ever tested. So whether you're planning on buying this as an on-camera monitor or to be used as a director's monitor, or maybe use it for a bit of both, I think you're gonna like the M7 Pro a lot. And you could actually save a few bucks by getting the M7H Pro if you don't need SDI, or get the regular M7 monitor if you don't need RX and TX capabilities. But I will leave links to all of those different options, including the sun hood and the little cage arrangement down below. And using those links will probably be the nicest thing you'll ever do today. So thank you in advance for checking those out. But that's gonna be it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, sirs.